welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a different video, and it's going to be a university themed video. I'm actually going back to my third year of university this September, and I thought today I'm going to tell you 10 things that I didn't know and I wish I knew before I started uni. So I do have some notes on my phone, so I'm going to look at them and try and sort of explain the things that I found useful and that I wish I knew. So let's get right into the video, guys, and if you enjoy this, then please leave a like and subscribe down below. So number one is that if you don't know something or find something confusing, don't be afraid to ask. So that's one of the things that a lot of people, I feel like they're scared to ask, or they don't know like if they should just wait and see if they can figure it out. But I have found that sometimes I didn't know how to do something and I did it the way I thought it would be, and then I figured it out, oh, it was completely different. So that would happen a lot with my assignments, and because I like to do them in advance, I kind of found that sometimes I was unsure and then I still wanted to do it to sort of do it beforehand. But then when they actually told us how to do it, I realized I did it all wrong and had to redo everything. So definitely worth to ask, even if you're doing it beforehand. If you're not sure on something, it's always better to ask before you spend all this time doing something and then realize, oh, I was doing it wrong all this time. So yeah, that's one of the things that I would suggest. Number two is you will end up finding friends even if it may seem like you won't. So I really thought I wouldn't find friends just because I actually commute to university, so I don't actually live there. So I thought obviously the most opportunities to find friends is in halls when you live with them and stuff like that, whereas I didn't really have that. So I found that it wasn't bad because I was studying a course that everybody else was in, and we all enjoyed the same thing because obviously we're all doing the same course. There were times where there was people from different like departments like media and stuff that were like kind of crossing over with our course, but even then I managed to find some friends, and I'm still friends with them now, and we always sit together, and if we can, we work on projects together as well. So I feel like it's definitely not been that bad, and I definitely found at least 2 or 3 friends that I'm close with. Number 3 is if you work in groups, people may not be as keen as you are. So what I mean by that is that sometimes when I was placed in groups, some people would literally never show up. They would not do the work. They would like literally not do anything, and I felt like, for example, me and another person was doing way more than that person. So don't be discouraged by that. Obviously it's very unfair, but maybe speak to your lecturer or the teacher that's leading the subject and sort of explain to them the situation, and hopefully you can solve it. Maybe change groups or something like that. So obviously try and figure this out early on. If you can't, then obviously try to work through it, because it will get better. Because obviously in the more years you are in, you'll find people that are good, and then you can obviously choose your groups most likely after like the first year most of the time, because the first year they kind of put you in groups to make you kind of just get to know each other and stuff like that. Number 4 is that nobody cares about your attendance, however it will affect your individual grade. So in my university, they did kind of like really kept saying it to us that your attendance will really like affect your grades, so please make sure like your attendance is good. And we would often get emails from lecturers saying their attendance has been pretty low, like please can you tell your friends who aren't in to come in and stuff like that. And I did find that there was a lot of students that like didn't really care, and they just literally only showed up like to 1 or 2 lessons in the whole year, which was crazy. But obviously it has affected their grades, so they had to reset and stuff like that. So obviously I know sometimes it may be hard to get out of bed and go to uni and sit in a lecture, stuff like that, but I promise you that it will make you stand out. It will make you look like you're really want to get somewhere, and people will want to work with you as well. Number 5 is that you will have a lot of things to do and learn individually. So that's definitely one of the things that I found, and it was a bit hard to start with, because a lot of the times in school or sixth form or college, wherever you are, you do have to do a lot of the things in class. Obviously you still have homework and stuff, but a lot of the things you did have a chance to just work on, whereas with uni you have the lectures, you have the seminars, and you talk about the subject that you're learning or like the module you're working on. However, when it comes to actual assignments, they don't give you any time pretty much to do it in class, so you have to do everything in your own time, which I found is quite difficult if you're also working or something like that, because obviously it's hard to juggle everything. But make sure you are kind of working on it whenever you have time, because otherwise you'll get overwhelmed at the end near the deadlines that you haven't really got much done, and you know, it's time to like submit it, so definitely get it done beforehand if you can. Right, so number 6 is a lot of people will leave after first year, which means only the ones that really want to do this will stay. So I actually found that there was loads of people in the first year, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a big class, how am I gonna like learn everything, because it was hard to like get the teacher's attention, like if you had questions or anything, because obviously there were so many of us. But when I joined second year, like pretty much half of those people weren't there anymore. So a lot of people either changed courses, or they went to a different uni, or they dropped out. So definitely, you know, don't stress if the class is really big, because most likely a lot of those people are not actually going to stay. Right, so moving on, number 7 is presentations are regular and you will get better at them as time goes on. So I don't know obviously if this is in every course, but my course actually we had to do quite a few presentations, group ones and individual ones, and in school or sixth form or whatever we don't really do them as much. So I feel like that was quite I don't know, quite hard for me to start with, because I get nervous, even though I am quite good at presentations in the end, but I do still get the initial, you know, nervousness, and I'm scared that I may forget something, and we weren't really allowed to like, you know, just read from it. So it was always better to just kind of memorize it and try to speak as much as you can without like reading it. So but yeah, don't worry, because you will get better at them, and it's just for you to learn it, so everybody's in the same position as you, and it can actually be pretty good and quite fun sometimes as well, so don't be scared. Number 8 is every lecturer will have their own rules and expectations. Observe and see what they are like. So throughout 3-4 years, however long your course is, you will obviously have different lecturers for different subjects, well, modules, sorry, I keep saying subjects. So obviously they will all kind of expect different things, and they will want you to work in different ways. So I had one lecturer that, for example, wouldn't let us use our phones in class, and some other ones that literally didn't care. Some of them preferred us to take notes on our laptops, some said you can only take them on like a notebook, and some of them would even let us eat in class. So I mean, it just really depends. So maybe like wait a little bit and observe the situation beforehand, and then kind of see what they are like, and then obviously you can kind of do things as you can see whatever is acceptable and what's not. Number 9, even if your course is mainly practical, you will still have a lot of theory to learn. So that's definitely true. Like in my course, I study film production, and I would expect it to be like, you know, mainly filming, cameras and stuff like that. But we do still have quite a lot of theory classes, and we have to write essays and presentations, like I said, and stuff like that. So don't expect it to just be practical, because after all it is still an education thing, so they will still have like normal lessons where you have to like take notes and stuff like that. Number 10 is working groups will be challenging, but you will realize how important it is to have this skill. And I definitely agree. I found it really hard, especially like I mentioned earlier, when people like weren't really cooperating. But at the end of the day, I realized how important it is to have these people, and you couldn't really do it by yourself. Once again, this may be different with other courses, but with my course in particular, like as a film student, I found that it was very, very important to have, you know, those people, and we all had our own responsibilities. So that concludes the video. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please leave some comments below. And that's it for today. So let me know if you guys are going to university and what course are you studying, and if you have any more questions, then let me know. So thank you so much, and bye.